Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. RMJ movie reviews back again. This time, right now because it's the month of coming out of February and into March. It's been you guys know how it is. January, February, and March is a slow month for movies, so I'm not really gonna kick up. My first movie that I'm gonna do movie review when I come back is actually going to be Captain America 2 because I've heard some good stuff about it. But in the meantime, I'm going to do a second review for another episode of Arsenio Hall. Like I said in the Prince review, I'm a very big supporter of Arsenio. I grew up on him. So I'm going to review tonight's episode, which it had Tyrese, Ginuwine, and Tank. These guys were big R&B singers back when I was in high school in the 90s. And of course Tyrese, I remember, Lately and Sweet Lady. Ginuwine, of course, we all remember Pony and oh man, what was the other one? Pony and what was the other one? Oh, Pony and Same OG, and there was a couple of other ones that we remember. And Tank, the only one I remember with Tank was I can't remember the name of that first single he came out with, but I can't remember the name of the song. Baby I Deserve. It wasn't called Baby I Deserve, but I just remember that line. Baby I Deserve. That's all I remember. But either way, these guys are really trying to take it back to that late 80s and 90s era of R&B where we had, the Jodeci's, the Shys, the H-Towns, the Boys to Men, the 112s. There's some groups in there I'm forgetting, but we all remember them. And that was fantastic stuff. This episode of Arsenio, again, was fantastic. Arsenio is really finding his niche because I was flipping back and forth tonight between Jimmy Fallon, because they had Arnold Schwarzenegger on there, and I was a gigantic fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger when I was a kid. You know what I mean? This is before I got to be an adult and figured out his sleazy, corrupt, right-wing, fascist kind of views and power control thing. But I was a gigantic Arnold fan when I was a kid. I loved Conan and Terminator and Commando. Those were the movies that got me hooked on. Specifically, Conan and Commando got me hooked on Arnold. So I was kind of flipping back and forth between Jimmy Fallon with Arnold promoting his movie, which we all know is going to bomb because no one cares for that type of action movie anymore, and Arsenio Hall with Tyrese and Ginuwine and Tank. And it got to the point when I saw Arnold's old, decrepit self walk out on the stage doing his same old one-liners. Now, don't get me wrong. I love watching Commando and all the films that Arnold made from True Lies and back. I love watching those films. But Arnold is like 67 or out of 68, whatever he is now, and it's just not cool to see a 70-year-old dude doing one-liners. I know Charles Bronson and Clint Eastwood did it, but for some reason, with Arnold, knowing what we know about him personally now, it's not cool. So I flipped back to Arsenio, and it was, the show was specifically made just for the ladies, but, again, it brought back that nostalgia. I mean, their performance was so good, and the R&B was so retro. It was just so Jodeci, Boys to Men, Shy, H-Town, all those guys, man. It was just so. It was a fantastic performance. Tyrese was getting out there in the audience. He had cougars feeling on him. It was just fun to watch these guys have a good time. It was meant for the ladies, but it was fun, and Arsenio hit it out the park again. Now, of course, Tyrese and Ginuwine and Tank aren't legendary names like Prince, but for folks who are early 30s kids like me, And maybe some of the early 40-somethings might have a thing for these guys. But I thought their performance was fantastic. There was a lot of soul. It was so soulful. It was so sexual. And don't get me wrong, I'm not hitting like some Brokeback Mountain type stuff. And it's cool if that's what you do. Not for me. But when I say sexual, I'm the guy who's single, like Tyrese said in that episode. And I kind of feel like that if I was to pick up this album and my would-be girlfriend or potential fiance or whatever, if we were sitting on the couch or we were with my other friends or we were at the club or whatever, and I turned on this kind of album that has the trio there, I think oops, excuse me, folks, I kicked the camera. I think that probably there'd be some mini-mots running around after listening to that. Oh, guys, I'm going to fix it here. There we go. And it was a fantastic show, man. I mean, they talked, and I mean, really more than anything, I really love the performances there. You know, I'm a filmmaker, I'm an actor, I'm a director, I'm a writer. Hopefully, when I get some money someday, I'll be a producer. But I love the theatrical performance aspect of it. And I just thought it was great, man. I really loved it. And I think Arsenio is just getting in his groove, man. I mean, yeah, Jimmy Fallon might have all the great people, but when you see the energy of them performing, I mean, you cannot beat that enthusiastic, raw energy. They're having a good time, and you can't beat that. Arsenio is just getting better. I thought this was a great episode. Again, like the Prince one, it took me back to being in 1990, watching my black and white TV at my old house that me and my mother and my sister grew up in. You know, it took me back to being 9, 8 years old again, man. It was fantastic. And what I really like is how, you know, they really talk with the audience. I think that's cool because we all know that David Letterman is not doing that. Jimmy Fallon isn't doing it. All the other guys who, all those other guys, they're not doing what Arsenio is doing. Yeah, of course. Now, then I will say, Jimmy Fallon gave Arsenio some good competition this week. When he had Kevin Bacon on there doing that Footloose thing, I can't sit up here in front. That was raw. That was raw. So that was a good performance. But that was retro, and we loved it to see Kevin up there doing his Footloose and the glitter and all that. But did the audience have the energy that Tyrese and all them had? And I loved how they gave, you know, some tribute to Jodeci, and I if I remember, I think they mentioned Boys to Men. So it was just a great episode. Arsenio is on his way up. I can feel it. Arsenio, if you happen to look at YouTube, I'm recording this right now in Warrensville Heights. I've been up to your high school. A friend of mine is a teacher up there. I'm a Clevelander, although I graduated from Cleveland Heights. Arsenio, I want to let you know that I'm a full supporter of you. I've watched you since I was a kid. I still have VHS copies of you and Von Damme and Steven Seagal and Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes. I have all those episodes on tape. I'm a full supporter of you, and I want you to know, if you come across my video on YouTube, that I plan on getting in the movie business. So I hope one day I can be on your show. I don't know. You guys, again, I'm working with my sets and stuff. Subscribe to my channel. Give me some more feedback about this episode. I thought it was fantastic. The performances were great. You know, the fellas did the 90s R&B thing, and they took the shirts off and all that. And I just thought it was a great episode. It was a lot of fun. And I think that's, excuse me, I think that's what's missing from kind of the late night talk show hostings. There's no fun. There was no fun. Like, yeah, Johnny Carson was fun. Jay Leno was fun. When I say fun, I mean funny. and David Letterman was, and all those guys, but nobody could just have that, just that, I mean, you just cannot have that fun like Arsenio has. So Arsenio, I'm there for you. Have Eddie back on there again. You need to have Van Damme back on there again, because even though I know Van Damme isn't making movies like it was back in the day, you guys had good chemistry, and I think Van Damme would be a lot of fun. Again, tonight's episode, it was all Ginuwine, Tyrese, and Tank. It was fantastic. They made music for the ladies. Their songs are great. I'm gonna pick up the album. Man, it was so much fun, man. It just, their performances were so great that it was like it was back then, man. Jimmy Fallon, David Letterman, and all those other, they can't compete with those kind of energetic performances. They just can't. They might be able to get the Ben Afflecks and the J Lo's and the Daniel Day-Lewises and the Johnny Depps. No disrespect to Johnny Depp, because I love Johnny Depp and all those other guys I mentioned. He might be able to get all those good line names, but they can't compete with the enthusiastic, pure energy of what that flavor that Arsenio brings. So again, short brief review. You guys subscribe, leave some comments. We can talk about that episode. I'm gonna go pick up the album. Anybody who's already got it, leave some comments. Let me know how it is, because I'm gonna pick it up, because I got some female interests right now, and I plan on playing this album for them. So yeah, peace.